Attention, duelists. Binks here, bringing you Master Duel Monday's watch and learn. Let's not hesitate. Let's get right in. We're not looking, we're watching. Hope all y'all out there in the world are doing all right. I could hope that y'all are doing great, but I'm going to measure my expectations. All right. Got Endymion. Opponent fires off Miscellaneousaurus. Miss will banish itself. Summon Animadorned Archosaur, which will pop the baby Ceresaurus in hand and add double evolution pill. Baby Ceresaurus will special summon out Soul Eating Oviraptor. Oviraptor will add a Petit Pteranodon to hand. Animadorned Archosaur will then be linked away for Linkuribo. Summons the baby Sarah. Oviraptor will pop it. Summon it back. Summon another one. The one that was popped will then summon Scrap Raptor. Scrap Raptor and Linkuribo will link away for Scrap Wyvern. Wyvern will target the Scrap Raptor, summon it to the field, then destroy it. This will enable Wyvern's effect, and Scrap Raptor will chain. Raptor will add Chimera to hand. Wyvern will summon another Raptor and pop the baby. Baby was popped, summoning Giant Rex. Scraptor number 2 will pop itself, summon Chimera. Chimera will summon back the Scraptor. Then Wyvern, Chimera, and Rex will all link together. Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. 3-stack. Activates Double Evolution Pill, banishing Giant Rex and Scrap Chimera for UCT. Giant Rex was banished, summon itself. Then Oviraptor and Scraptor are going to overlay for Evolzer Logia. Passes turn. Let's see what Endymion's got. Activates the field spell. Opponent fires off Max C in response. Triple Tactics could put in some good work here. Activates it. Effective taking control was chained. Logia will chain its effect, negating Triple Tack. Activates Triple Tactics Rust, adding Spell Power Mastery. Puts in the scale the Magister of Endymion. Activates Spell Power Mastery, adding Servant. Counters go up. Places Mighty Master of Magic. In the other scale, more counters are placed. Removes a bunch of those counters for Endymion to summon himself. Pops 3 cards on field. I assume he couldn't negate that because it was the Pendulum spell effect at the time, and therefore Appaloosa could not negate it. But there go the 3 big threats. Places Servant of Endymion in the scale, activates Pot of Desires, banishing top 10 to draw 2. More counters are placed. Pendulum summon, Mystical Beast Jackal. Mighty Master will swing over Giant Rex. Jackal goes direct. Passes turn. Dino player back to 5 in hand. Activates Lost World. Endymion's effect will chain. Dino player chaining a second Miscellaneousaurus to it. Jackal will chain to negate that effect. Misk whiffs. Endymion will bounce Servant, negate the Lost World. Dino player activates Ground Xeno, adding Frostosaurus to hand, popping the Petit Pteranodon in hand. Petit's effect will go off, summoning an Oviraptor from deck. Oviraptor will add a second UCT to hand. Activates Feather Duster, sweeping up the back row, and the Field Spell. Field Spell removes some counters to protect itself, then gets more counters on resolution of Duster. Ground Xeno will banish itself, and fuse Oviraptor and Frostosaurus into, what is your giant name? Transcendosaurus Gigantozowler. 3,800 attack, requiring 1 dino and a normal. When it's special summoned, you can target a dino in your grave, add it to your hand. Then if it was special summoned from the graveyard, destroy 2 cards, 1 from hand or field, and 1 your opponent controls. If this card is destroyed, you can shuffle a normal monster from grave into deck, then special summon this card. Alright, so he gets a monster back. Getting back his Misk. UCT will be summoned by banishing 2 dinos. Hang on a tick. Oh, right, that's the new one, not the old one engraved. I'm mistaking myself. Giant Rex was banished, so it will summon itself again, get a little bit bigger. UCT will pop the Transcendosaurus in order to shuffle the opponent's monsters face down. Transcendosaurus, Gigantozauler will then shuffle back Frostosaurus, resummon itself, fires off Misk again. This time it will resolve, banishing a bunch, summoning Frostosaurus to the field. UCT will attack the Jackal and the Mighty Master, send them both to the extra deck, dealing 1,000 for each one, then proceeds to punch them in the face for game. Dinosaurs. Pretty consistent. Looks like Gate Guardian. What's he doing with all this? Summons Prisma, opponent fires off Imperm, negating it. Still attempts to use Prisma's effect, which does send for cost, so that will still accomplish its goal, sending away Suijin. Then discard Suijin, Kazujin, and banish Suijin, Kazujin, and Sengen to summon Gate Guardians combined, and passes. Then for cost, still gets by, but he has tributed the Gate Guardians combined for Gamma Seal. Gate Guardians will attempt to then use its effect, but be hit by Ash Blossom. Duelist A is out here struggling. If I see Numeron Gates, I'm going to throw up. Duelist B summons Jizukiru, swings over Prisma, passes. Duelist A draws another Sanga, activates the 7 swords. Sacred Sword of 7 stars, discarding Sanga, banishing Sanga of Thunder, that's a cost, to draw 2, getting a Hero Lives and Labyrinth Wall Shadow. Opponent activates Danger Thunderbird, wins that roulette, pitching Blackluster Ritual, activates Danger Bigfoot, wins that one too. Bigfoot on board. Activates Danger Dogman, only 1 target left, so Dogman will hit itself. It will then just reduce the attack stat of Gamma Seal, which does nothing. Jizukira will then swing over Gamma Seal. Thunderbird and Bigfoot go direct. Main 2, Thunder and Bigfoot, going to overlay into Aegion the Sea Castrum. It will use its effect, banishing 1 random card face down from the opponent's extra deck. Its attack becomes equal to the banished monsters. Weird card. Pit Gate Guardians of Water and Thunder. Weird creature. Duelist A activates a Hero Lives. Decrastrum will chain its effect, getting a worse hit of Verte. Another Prisma is hit. It will reveal Gate Guardians of Water and Wind, send away a Suijin, activates Labyrinth Wall Shadow, placing Sanga in the Spell and Trap Zone, then summoning Gate Guardians of Water and Wind by banishing the 2. Castrum will use its effect, attaching 1 material, target 1 of the opponent's banished monsters, return to the extra deck, destroying 1 monster the opponent controls with the same card type. Gate Guardians of Water and Thunder will chain its effect, making Jizukira's attack stat 0. It is destroyed. Because it was destroyed, Sanga of Thunder will come out. Sanga of Thunder will swing over Sea Castrum. Passes turn to Duelist B. Jizukira's stats do go back up to 3,300. There's lethal on board for Duelist B. But we're going to make it weird. Banishing Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, Max C will chain. Kaiju Slumber adding Gamma Seal. Gamma Seal tributing the Sanga. And then swinging with Jizukiru over Gamma. Math Mech. Got Droll Unlock and Psyframe in hand. Opponent sets 3 back row after activates Labyrinth. Passes. Scary. During the draw phase, activates Welcome Labyrinth, summoning Ariana. Ariana's effect will attempt to activate. Psyframe Gear Gamma will come out. Big Welcome Labyrinth will change to Psyframe Gamma. Summoning Lovely Labyrinth. Bouncing Ariana. Gamma summons itself, and Driver does still negate Ariana. Lovely's effect, hitting a card in hand, hitting the Circular. Ghost A summons Droll Unlock. Links it away for Almirage. Exceed will come out, summoning itself to the zone Almirage points to, and bringing out its twin from deck. Those two will overlay into Alimbertion. Alimbertion will detach both. Imperm comes out, hitting Alum. Labyrinth will activate, summoning Ariana from the hand because a non-Labyrinth trap activated. Alimbertion and Almirage will link together for Splash Mage. Splash Mage will summon Circular back. Circular will link away. For Link, Decoder. Decoder and Splash link together for Transcode Talker. Decoder will summon itself back. Decoder and Transcode will then link together for G-Golem Crystal Heart. Crystal Heart will summon Transcode Talker back. Then Transcode Talker and Gamma are going to link together. For Access Code Talker, did not use Transcode Talker's effect to summon a Link monster back. Access Code Talker will target Transcode Talker, gain its Link rating as times 1000 stats, banish Almirage and Splash to pop the board, banish Transcode, finishing it off. Wide open. Swings with Side Driver. Follows up with Access Code. Duels B at 200. One card in a dream. Sets it and passes. Duels A draws. Access Code. Banish the Crystal Heart. Popping the set card. Moves to battle. Swings. And that's the game. Blackwings. I gotta bring up the sideboard for all their stupid names. Duels B fires off Max C immediately. Ash Blossom in immediate response. Turnabout is fair play. Player summons Zephyros, specials out Chris the Crack of Dawn, specials out Vada Emblem of Wandering. Ash Blossom in response to Vada's effect to send cards to graveyard. Negated. Instead, he's going to sync Vata with Zephyros into Boreas Storm the Wicked Wind. Boreas Storm's effect will activate, sending away Sea Moon, the Poison Wind, from deck to grave. Chris the Crack of Dawn and Boreas Storm will then sync together for Black Winged Assault Dragon. Specials out Sharnga the Waning Moon. Zephyros will bounce Sharnga to summon itself back from the graveyard. Takes a little bit of damage and passes. Duels B sets 1, summons Skullcrobat Joker, who will add Odd Eyes Dissolver. Takes some burn, puts Dissolver in the scale, puts Odd Eyes Butler's effect, popping the Dissolver to summon itself. Takes some damage, puts Double Iris in the scale. Skullcrobat and Butler will link together for Heavy Metal Foe's Electromite. Electromite effect, adding Astrograph to the extra deck, pops Double Iris, add Astrograph to hand, then summon it. Oh no, he didn't use that effect this time. Okay, now it's resolving. Electromite into Iris into Astrograph. Astrograph, summoning itself. Adding Double Iris. Double Iris's effect, adding Star Pendulum Graph. And Electromite, drawing 1. Activates Star Pendulum Graph. Electromite and Astrograph will then link together for Beyond the Pendulum. Beyond will take 1200, add Harmonizing Magician to hand, take 700, puts Pendulum Sorcerer and Double Iris, the new one, in the scale. Pendulum summons, he can only really do 2 more effects. Astrograph returns, as does Butler, and Harmonizing is brought out. Beyond the Pendulum attempts to use its effect, targeting a bunch of monsters. Let me just clock what it just happened. During the opponent's turn, they attributed this card, Black-Winged Assault Dragon, with 4 more Black Feather counters to destroy all cards on the field. Harmonizing Magician was going to special summon a Magician Pendulum monster from their deck. Beyond the Pendulum was going to target 2 cards and destroy them, but one of them is now gone. And Pendulum Sorcerer was going to boost up all Performapal monsters. Assault Dragon will clear the field. Harmonizing will bring out Oath Dragon. And the others will whiff, but Odd Eyes Butler is put back in the scale. Blackwing player draws for turn, getting Blizzard of the Far North, summons it. Targeting Zephyros, summons it to the field. The 2 sync together for Blackwing Armed Dragon. Blackwing Armed Wing. Can't talk today. Armed Wing with piercing damage swings over Oath Dragon for game. That Blackwing burn did a number on him. What in God's name is this? Summons Reflect Blounder, activates Time Tearing Morganite. For the rest of the duel, the Playfunk effects cannot activate monster effects in hand, draw 2 cards instead of 1 during the normal draw phase, conduct 2 normal summons per turn. Activates Summon Breaker, sets 2 Waking the Dragons, and passes. Duels B activates Branded Fusion, sending away Bestial Lupelion and Fallen of Albaz, making Albion the Branded. Albion's effect will go through, banishing itself and Fallen of Albaz to do a summon into Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade will send away another Albion to banish Reflect Bounder, moves to battle, punches face. During the end phase, Albion Engrave will set Branded and Lost face down, passes, draws 2 cards for turn, summons Reflect Bounder, sets Skull Invitation, and passes. I think Duels B is still doing pretty alright. Activating Branded Lost, Duelist A brings out Skull Invitation. Mirror Jade will send away Rindbrum, banish the Reflect Bounder again, summons Aluber the Jester of Despia, adds Branded Beast, sets 1, swings Aluber, swings Mirror Jade, Duelist A at 200, B 7700. Draws Raigeki and MST, fires off the Raigeki. Opponent activates Branded Beast in response. MST comes out, targeting Branded Beast. It is continuous, so once it's cleared, its effects can no longer resolve. Skull Invitation will do some damage. Raigeki comes out, clearing the board. More damage dealt thanks to Skull Invitation. And then Skull Invitation destroys Duelist A themselves. I don't know what the plan was. I'm going to assume it didn't work. Raid Raptor, Super Heavy Samurai with Time Thieves. Weird. Duels B activates Dark Magic Circle, adding Dark Magician. Passes. Average Dark Magician player. Uses the effect of Super Heavy Motorbike, pitching it to add a Super Heavy. Chains Max C. Ash Blossom chaining to the Max C. Motorbike resolves unimpeded. Adds Prodigy. Places it in the scale. Uses its effect, placing Big Monk Ben K to summon itself. The Gaia will equip itself to Soul Gaia will equip itself to Prodigy, then move itself forward for free. Overlays the two into Force Strix. Force Strix will detach Prodigy, add Raider's Wing. Summons Singing Lanius for having a Raid Raptor on board. I believe. Don't tell me that was his. Yep, specials it out for having a Raid Raptor. For having an Xyz monster, more specifically than a Raid Raptor. Links them both away for Wise Strix. Wise Strix effect, placing a Raider's Wing face up in one of the zones it points to. Summons another one, activates rank up magic Soul Shave, summoning back 4 Strix from grave, having their own life points, turning it into Cyber Dragon Infinity. Both Raider's Wings will overlay for a second 4 Strix. Uses its effect again, detaching a material, adding Strangulanius to hand. Wise Strix effect will activate, Raider's Wing will chain, pulling the unit off of 4 Strix to summon itself. Wise Strix and Force Strix will then link together for Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche. Rusty Bardiche will send away Silent Boots, set a Shade Brigadine. Silent Boots will banish itself, add a Fog Blade, activates the Brigadine, summons itself as a level 4 monster. Strangulanius will summon itself for controlling a Xyz monster with a Dark Xyz monster as material. Controlled Dark Monster, summon itself for controlling Xyz monster with Dark Material, which would be the Infinity with the Strix. They're going to target the Raider's Wing and Grave, summon it back. Raider's Wing already on board, and Strangulanius will overlay into Time Thief Perpetua. Jade Brigadine and Raider's Wing will overlay as well for Time Thief Redoer. In a zone that Bardiche points to, which will pop Dark Magic Circle, moves to battle, Infinity Swings, Bardiche, Perpetua, and Redoer for game. Weird pile. We got one of them self-destructors out here, so we'll just kick on the fast forward. Oh, self-destruct versus Nurse Burn. Summons Dark Lord Nurse, puts Moon Mirror Shield on it, activates Into the Void, drawing cards, discarding cards like Bad Direction to Samuchi, Dark Lord Ixchel. Tools to activate Cybernetic Fusion support. Nurse Burn player with no cards to burn with. Fusion support goes through. Activates Toon World, setting Destruction of Destiny, summon Garbage Lord. The Lord will swing at the nurse, swings in, blows self up. Amazing. Another Dark Magician. Opponent activates Allure of Darkness. Ash Blossom says no you don't. Soul Servant to chain. Magician Mirror Match. Puts Palladium Oracle Mahad on top. Running a 60 card deck. Passes after all that. Sure. Duelist A uses Timaeus, pitching Soul Servant, summoning itself. Sets Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. Swings with Tim. Passes. Amazing. Player draws, getting Mahad. Mahad will summon himself by his own effect. Main phase, banish Soul Servant. Activates another Soul Servant. Duelist A activates Cursed Seal, negating Soul Servant for the rest of the game. Moves to battle. Mahad swings at Tim, dies. Tim will then tag out for Dark Magician. Main phase 2 activates Thousand Knives, destroying Tim. Passes to Duelist A. Weird match. Duelist A draws Dark Magician. Passes. Duelist B just swings in with the Dark Magician. Main phase 2, Duelist A will pitch their Magic Karibo, summon their Dark Magician. Duelist A's turn, getting Magician's Souls. Uses its effect. Send away Dark Magician, discard self, summon the Dark Magician. Soul Servant Engrave, banish itself. Ash Blossom in response, no cards for you. The Magicians on board will overlay. For Ebon Illusion Magician, will detach one material from itself. Summon a Dark Magician from hand. When he swings, he'll use Ebon's effect to banish the Dark Magician he was swinging at. Both monsters have enough for damage on board. Ends the game. Victory to Duelist. I don't know if we can really call it a victory for the Duelist. It was weird magicians. Surely there was a better way. Danger Dark World. Activates Gates of Dark World. Activates Dark World Ascendancy. Sets 1. Activates Mothman. Nessie gets hit. Mothman is summoned. Gets to add Rainbow. Nessie will add Chupacabra. Activate Chupacabra. Chupacabra hits self. Its effect will activate to summon Nessie. Gates of Dark World. Banish Chupacabra. Discard Rainbow. Draws Grapha. Dark World Ascendancy will activate. Rainbow will chain. Rainbow adds Gold Woolord. Not Ascendancy. Dark World Archives. Archives allows him to discard gold, draw 2. Gold summons itself back then. Genta will discard itself, add another Gates of Dark World. Activates it. Gates, not a hard once per turn. Gates will banish Genta, discard Grapha. Draws a Genta. Genta is banished. Grapha was discarded. Their effects will activate in sequence. Genta summons itself to the field. Grapha will bounce gold. The Woolord will come out. Sorry, I misspoke. Gold is bounced for Rainbow to be summoned back from the graveyard. Genta is bounced so that Grapha can come back. All 4 monsters on board. Link away for Saryuja Skull Dread. Saryuja's effect, draw 4. Send back 3, activates Dark World Dealings. Both players draw, discarding Genta. Places his 3rd Gates of Dark World over the other ones. Opponent now getting Max D. Never too late to try. Max C goes through. Ace is activated and will use its effect, banishing Genta, discarding Snow, drawing 1. Snow was discarded, gets to add Dark World Ascension. Sets 1, passes, not feeding Max C at all. Passes to Duelist B. Duelist B activates Branded Regained. Dark World Ascension will chain. Discarding Grapha and fusing it with Mothman. For Grapha Overlord. Regained is now resolved. Saryuja will give Overlord a boost. Grapha was also discarded. Its effect will go through. Archives will also go through. Discarding Jackalope, drawing 2. Grapha will pop Branded Regained. Jackalope was discarded. Will now summon Bigfoot at 0 defense. Duelist B activates Dragon Shrine, sending away Blue Eyes and a White Stone. Bestial Lubellion will discard itself. Grapha Overlord will use its effect to rewrite Lubellion's effect, making it to discard, pitching Radian. The White Stone during the end phase will summon the Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon, who will add Polymerization. We'll also add another Bestial Lubellion during the proper end step. Duelist A draws Radian, activates Allure of Darkness. Opponent chains Branded Befallen. Allure of Darkness, drawing 2, pitching Radian. Archives effect. Crackdown will activate, targeting the Overlord. No response. Overlord stolen. Discards Ceruli. Archives will chain to that. Discarding Rainbow, drawing 2. Ceruli will summon itself to Duelist B's side of the field. Its effect will activate to make Duelist A discard. Rainbow will chain, getting gold added to hand again. Forced to discard him by Cerule's effect. We'll pop the 2 back row cards. Overlord now goes back to its first controller. Cards were destroyed, so Jet Dragon will now activate, or attempt to, but Overlord will rewrite its effect. Discarding gold for that. Gold was discarded, popping 2 more cards, that being the monsters on board. Saryuja buffs just about everybody. Swings in Saryuja, swing Overlord, and Bigfoot for game. Now, I had a longer video before, so I'll make this one short. And this also means that we're getting out without having anyone forced to witness Kashtira. So you're welcome. I'm a hero. It's fine. Save your applause. I don't do this for the glory. I do it because it's what's right. Anyway, that's this week's Watch and Learn. Hope you all enjoyed it. Have a good one. Bye bye.